Hello and welcome to the Beat LA podcast. My name is Matt Ferrucci. I am a writer-director in Los Angeles. We are in Los Angeles, and I am joined, as always, by a man who doesn't think it's hot enough in Los Angeles, Mr. Paul Rule. Paul, how you doing?
I'm great, man. The heat wave is finally ending. I'm glad I was not at the Hollywood Bowl on Saturday night when the thing got canceled.
Yeah,
I hate
right.
crowds as it is,
Yeah.
but I really hate like hot, sweaty strangers in the dark.
You know what? You got to look.
Well, maybe I should be into that. Sounds kind of fun now that I say it out loud.
Yeah, no, and for those that aren't watching on YouTube, Paul's got like this sort of summer lumberjack look going right now. And
So we should be, what is this, episode 29, Matt? I think I'm repeating my outfit for the first time.
I just want to say you kind of remind me of Chevy Chase when he's walking through the desert in Vacation trying to find the gas station. Cut to the clip, Nick.
Mommy?
So I want to know why we're sitting next to each other, because it's kind of freaking me out. Usually we start across from each other.
Yeah,
I feel like we're in the scene in Diner, and something's gonna pop up inside my Beat LA mug.
Right now, if you're watching on YouTube, Paul and I are sitting on the same side of the booth right now, kind of like two people dating, you know, like really, really in love. You know what I'm saying?
Common law.
Common law marriage.
Year.
Yeah. We're going to get to the reason why we're on the same side to start in a second.
Okay.
Let's do some house cleaning first.
Do it, man.
All right. You can listen to this podcast on Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts. You can watch it on YouTube. We're always on YouTube. Also, subscribe to us on Instagram and TikTok. Subscribe, hit the subscribe and follow button, because once again, Paul, when you do that, it keeps the lights on and it keeps Beat LA going.
We're rocking it on TikTok. Chinese government loves us.
Chinese government fucking loves us.
I know.
Who's the?
They're trying to take over the Philippines, so maybe that's why.
Oh, I gotta watch out
Trying
for
to
that.
turn you into a double agent.
Oh man, God, my fusion might be at risk.
Maybe.
Who's the Prime Minister of China?
She.
And as always, we got Nick Conrad back. Good to see you, Nick.
Nick.
Hey, what's happening, baby? All right, Paul, we are on the same side of the booth right now. I don't know what camera to look at, because we have arguably the most popular guest we've ever had. Kareem Grimes might take issue with this, but we thought who better to have on the podcast after week 1 of the NFL season than this guy. Some Paul call him controversial. He stirs the pot. He's the Stephen A. Smith of the Beat LA podcast, actor and diehard Niners fan, Reggie Watkins. Welcome back.
Hey, what up?
Welcome, Reggie. Nothing
Thank
says
you.
football season started like Reggie
Matt,
Watkins.
Paul Bunyan. Appreciate y'all being here.
That's great pull.
I was going to tell you, as soon as you said lumberjack, I was like, oh, Paul Bunyan, it's perfect.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, you know, you've been in this town long enough. I remember there was a Paul Bunyan script running around Hollywood.
Shut the hell up, there was
But
not.
you know who was attached to it? I remember Eddie Griffin was attached. And I was like, how do I get in on this one? It was like breakdowns and shit back when we used to get the breakdowns and stuff. Reggie, great to see you. I love you and see you in Niner Red.
Yeah, come on. Now you got to represent for my man
Kaepernick.
Cap. Come on,
Kaepernick.
baby.
Yeah.
You got to. And hold on, let me just say something.
Yeah, bring it.
Because I was here last time, and I'm glad that I was. Do I look into this here,
No, you
or do
can
I just
look
do
at
what
us.
you
We'll
guys-
find you. It's
Yeah,
going to
Camera
find you.
loves you.
Okay.
You know
I was
that.
here last time, and I'm so thankful that I was the most popular guest. But y'all got zombie Reg last time, because I came back from Vegas.
Oh, I remember that.
Remember?
Right. Yeah.
I've been drinking, partying,
Yeah.
not sleeping, having fun.
Right.
I'm here, baby.
You are here.
Let's go.
You know what's funny
I'm
is
actually a little scared.
when we had you on the first time,
he seemed good to me.
he was good, and you were very cogent
I mean,
and all
you
that
know,
stuff.
you know.
You know what I'm saying? But then Paul called me after we had you on, and he's like, have you seen these numbers? And the numbers were it was like the stock market. Like, do we sell? No, hold. Hold on to these numbers. Should we start a GoFundMe to get Reggie a different Niners jersey?
Why?
I mean, I know like repping Cap, but like, you know, we had a little argument before. I don't want to start anything, but maybe we should get him a Brock Purdy jersey.
Oh, he'd never wear that.
You know,
not?
if I got you a Brock Purdy jersey, would you wear it?
I wouldn't wear it, but a homeless person in LA would.
Oh, wow.
They would get gifted a Brock Purdy jersey. So if that's what you would like to do, help the brothers out, man. Help them out.
Write it off.
I know shots
so-
are being fired here.
He basically said that he would not only not wear a Brock Purdy jersey, he would give it away. Actually, to a homeless person, it's a nice thing. He's a nice person.
Right?
You know what I'm
big
doing right
heart.
now, though? You see what's happening right here? It's very zen. This is very David Carradine in Kung Fu. This is very not taking the bait. Okay, because we got a lot to get to here, Reggie,
get to
today.
it.
We got a lot to get to here. First of all, ever since we've had him on, there has been a Reggie Watkins drinking game over the last few pods. Every time you are mentioned, you've been mentioned a lot on this
Yeah,
pod.
I've got some strays. I've heard.
You've heard some strays.
I've heard.
Yeah, but you're feeling okay. Yeah.
Come on, man.
Because Ray was on the pod and he fired some shots at you, but
Yeah.
that's okay. Ray Stoney, the Stone Man.
Oh, yeah, that dude.
Yeah. Before we get into the analysis that everyone doesn't need from this podcast because they can get it from their beat writers.
Yeah, they can.
You had a question last night. I ran over to Paul's, got there mid-first quarter to watch the game. And as we're watching the game, you were asking me a little bit about this right here, Paul. Right here. This right here. And we said, why don't we ask Reggie?
My question is, are more guys wearing the dreads in the NFL than used to, and do we think their hair is real, or do we think those are extensions?
I'm seeing that more. I was wondering yesterday too. 'Cause I've
The
seen
Predator
a bunch
look
of
is
dreads.
like gone
and I was
fucking
like,
viral.
What is going on
right?
here?
Yeah,
It's got to be extensions.
it's got to be right.
You think? Oh, really?
I've noticed the color of the hair is different. Like I think Ayuk got with the new contract, he got a new one, and it was kind of red.
You think these dudes got that kind of hair growing that long?
See, this is where I'm out. And I was going to give Paul shit because I was like, Paul doesn't know what he's talking about. He was saying fake hair. So
I
he's
know a lot
right.
about
That long?
hair.
Yeah.
Is extensions. Come on.
Because we got schooled a few pods ago about the taco meat right here.
Oh, that's me.
The taco meat.
Who's about talking to me?
Taco meat. Kareem Grimes was talking about taco meat, and we were like, "Wait, what's taco meat?"
Oh, yeah.
So then Paul was like, "I think Ayuk's hair is fake," and I'm like, "Oh, you sound like my mother," and I'm like, "Well, let's ask Reggie," and you
Yeah.
think it could be fake.
No, I think it's definitely.
It's great.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah,
See,
definitely.
look at me.
Give it up. Give it up.
See,
Give it
I'm
up.
very
Give it
observant.
up.
I've been in Hollywood a long time. I can tell when people color their hair, and I can tell when they're doing like a comb over.
Right.
I got all this shit going on.
All right.
Not because I've done any of those things.
Oh, yeah, exactly. That's why you come to the Beat LA podcast.
Not why I'm wearing a hat right now.
All right. If you're still listening to the pod, let's get to the 49ers and Jets last night. Let me set this up. People around the nation, all the pundits, even some 49er fans, I think we're sleeping on our team. We're sleeping on the Niners. A lot of the bettors, a lot of the money yesterday was all coming in on the Jets, okay? A lot of the people on all the talk shows, the Mike Greenbergs, the
Mike Greenberg, the Super Jets.
Right. The Rex Ryans, obviously the Damian
Rex Ryan,
Woody's.
the old Jets coach.
But even like the Pat McAfee's, a lot of people.
The idiots.
Right.
Yeah.
But a lot of the people were picking Jets. It was the sexy thing.
Mm-hmm.
And they were sleeping on us. And last night, I think we reminded everybody who the fuck we were.
Yeah.
It was kind of a boring game, but we came in and we punched them in the mouth. And we were the more physical team. Let's start with the positives, guys.
Yeah.
Reggie.
Nobody's listening to Reggie to hear the positives, are they?
Well, yeah. No,
I want to know what he thinks was
but
wrong.
Let's zag. Like when
Okay.
people want to zig.
Okay.
Like what
All I do is give positives.
I understand.
It depends on how you filter it in.
You tried to team up with a positive. That was good.
Like I was very impressed with the defense.
Oh.
We can get into that. Let's talk about that.
Our
The
defense is going to be ridiculous this year.
Yeah.
I remember hearing about Leonard Floyd.
Yeah.
I forgot
Yeah.
that we had Leonard Floyd on the other side of Bosa.
Yeah.
That is going to be a ridiculous combo this year.
Yeah.
Leonard Floyd and Bosa. When we get Greenlaw back,
Yeah.
that's going to be sick. But having Hufanga, I always say Hufanega.
Yeah.
Hufanga.
Sure.
Hufanga.
Having him back, that dude's the best safety in the game.
Yeah.
He's been gone for a year.
Right.
We added the best safety in the game.
Right.
A guy who gets 9 sacks on the other side of a guy who gets 12 on average.
Sure.
And we got Ward.
Yeah.
We got Lenore. Dude,
Yeah. Yeah.
our defense is about to, as long as we don't get hit with the injury bug,
Sure.
that's definitely going to come at some point. Somebody's going to get dinged up or whatever. As long as we don't have a major injury on defense, we will have a top 5 defense in the league.
I agree.
Period.
Paul, what are you thinking? What were you?
Leonard
thoughts with
Floyd's
defense?
240 pounds. He's like a linebacker.
He's lean.
He's amazing. Look, there's some people that said that it was kind of their B-plus team. Obviously, McCaffrey wasn't playing. Hufanga's still not back yet. You got Ayuk, played like shit. He was rusty, come back. Trent Williams needed an IV because he wasn't in game shape. I mean, that wasn't the full team even. So they can maybe they just get better.
Well, you know, I was texting you.
I'm a
yesterday.
neg guy. You know,
You're
me,
a neg
Matt.
guy, but
I feel pretty good about it.
I feel good too. I was texting you. I think our D is actually the thing that's going to take us to the promised land.
I think Nick Sorensen and the Staley combo is looking good. They were
Nick
aggressive.
Sorensen, right? Brandon Staley. I mean,
No Steve Wilkes, baby.
Yeah, Sorensen was great.
We're not going to kill Steve Wilkes.
We're not going to kill Steve Wilkes.
But because I thought Steve Wilkes did a phenomenal job with what we had.
Well,
Okay.
can I speak to that point?
Yes.
So you talked about the Leonard Floyd and Bosa. I think the most impressive thing was who was in between them. Malik Collins.
He did well.
He was great with Hargrove. I was reading something the other day when we had Kinlaw and Armstead. They were tall men. Mm-hmm. Malik Collins is like this Marvel bowling ball, and that's what you need in the middle.
Yeah.
They stuffed the run. Y'all forget, or maybe we don't forget, but we were so awful against the run last year.
Yeah.
We held Breece Hall to 64 yards, 54 yards. We were the most. We held them to 196 yards before garbage time.
Yeah.
Our defense, Paul, is
That's
looking
real.
good.
That looks
It's gonna
good.
be real.
Yeah, Lamore, Diamador.
Our defense is going to be scary.
Our defense is
gonna
going
be
to be scary. Let's jump to the other side of the ball. CMC surprise and active. The Madden curse is alive and well. Take fantasy out of the mix for a second here, Reggie.
Please do.
Jordan Mason. Yeah. We just find guys.
I love him. I mean, I've always thought Jordan Mason could be a beast in this offense because every running back, like literally any running back they put back there, gets yards.
Yeah.
Unless Elijah Mitchell was always hurt.
Yeah, Elijah Mitchell. But even when he wasn't hurt, he got yards.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, they were talking about last night on the broadcast, like Mike Shanahan's offenses. Reuben Drones, 1,000-yard rushers, right? Mike Anderson, 1,000-yard rusher from Utah. Like, they always all they get is these one-cut guys, and that's all you need with the Shanahan system and the line blocking. That's it.
Yeah.
You need a guy who can just put his foot in the ground, make a cut. They're going to get 1,000 yards.
Yes.
And if you happen to have a guy like Christian McCaffrey, he's going to get 1,000 yards, he's going to catch for 1,000, and he's going to be the MVP, or he'll be the Offensive Player of the Year. That's how crazy it is.
You brought up a good point. Who does he remind you of?
Marshawn Lynch.
Baby Marshawn.
So I'll give a Beat LA mug to either one of you guys who knows what the P stands for in JP Mason. This is a kind of hard-hitting research.
You know what's funny? It's here because I kept referring to him as JP Mason, and that's what they call him. But I don't know why they call him JP.
Because his middle name starts with a P, man.
Okay, I got one. Ready?
You're never going to
Percival. You go.
That's a good one, actually. That's not it.
Jordan Percival Mason. Sounds like a president.
This is the kind of hard-hitting journalism people tune into the Beat LA podcast for.
Is it Paul?
No, see, I like that you made it about me because that's brilliant. Because I like to make things up myself too.
Yeah.
Ponchez.
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 I love that name.
Wow.
Yeah.
Poncho, Sanchez, Ponchez.
Ponchez. Jordan Ponchez.
Can we
they
fi-
just made that up too.
That's great.
Just made that up.
I've never heard of a Ponchez.
He's going for some sponsor. There must be like a Ponchez taco place in the South Bay.
You know what? Jordan Ponchez Mason. If you know why his family gave him the middle name Ponchez, put it in the comments below.
Yeah,
put it in the comments below. And if the best one, we'll send you a Beetle mug. Okay? All right.
Well, I don't have to give it to either of you because you guys didn't get it.
You know what? I didn't know you've heard that term, running downhill.
Yeah.
I didn't really understand it until I saw Jordan Ponchez Mason yesterday, man. He was running downhill, man. CMC, blessing in disguise. Once again, we take the fantasy out of it. I think resting an Achilles calf thing. You know how those are.
Oh, yeah. Look what happened to Dre Greenlaw. They couldn't rest in the Super Bowl, and he blew it out.
I think it's great that he got to sit for a week.
Do you think he heard it on the honeymoon?
Great question.
How? Where was he at?
He was probably Olivia Culpo were doing stuff. You know?
Bedroom acrobatics.
Right.
Nick, you know about bedroom acrobatics, right? A little bit. Little bit.
Cut to the clip.
I don't know. It doesn't seem all that difficult. We got a grease man.
He always thinks the injuries that happen are not happening on the field, but behind the scenes. That's his kind of thing.
What do you think about the chemistry of this team? Because there was a lot of talk in preseason that wasn't great. These guys weren't motivated, and then they looked like a team last night. I think Purcell getting shot. And
I think that galvanized the team. We talked about
surviving
this.
miraculously.
Yeah.
I saw that. I saw some of the stuff going around in the offseason. Like, I think I saw some clip where somebody was like talking about how the white players didn't hang out with the black players, or there was like some birthday party or somebody it was CMC's wedding. And I think there was like none of the black players were there, like Debo wasn't there or something like that, and people were like, oh, these teams, they don't even hang out together.
Right.
Bro, I played football until I was 21. That's how it always is. The white dudes hang out with, white dudes hang out with the white dudes, the black dudes hang out with the black dudes. Every now and then they mesh
won't
a
even
little
wear a
bit.
Brock
whatever,
Purdy jersey.
But
I get
that is
it.
what it is. That's how things go.
Paul, we're just learning so much today.
It's truth. He's a truth teller.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Though? Where would a guy like me, who's got this fusion thing going, it's like, is he Mexican?
Maybe
is he
with
Filipino?
Ponchez.
Is he
Maybe,
Italian? Where would I fit in
maybe
on the team?
JP Mason.
You'd be with the kickers.
I'd be with the kickers.
Yeah, you would.
I'd be with the kickers. I always want to look at this one. I'd be with the kickers. I'd be with the punters. Hey, I'd be playing.
You know how every team has like the one international guy on the practice squad?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where you'd be.
Yeah.
You look like a quality control coach.
Where's my visor?
Yeah. Hey, speaking of this, we always have the real solid guests on the Beat LA podcast. Reggie, you played college football. Were you a wide receiver?
Yeah.
Okay, so you played until you played college ball. You were a wide receiver. Talk to us about, like, Ayuk had some drops. He dropped that one in the end zone. Peyton Manning ripped him apart. Said,
And I hate that. I'm sorry to cut you off, but I have to. You guys have that to pull up exactly what he said?
We're going to do it.
Because I had it on my phone. I was reading it this morning.
Nick,
Just imagine it because
it.
everyone's
Nick,
seeing it
pull up
right
the clip.
now.
There's a reason for training camp. You need it. We need the reps.
13 seconds.
Get those contracts done earlier so we can get in training camp. We don't drop balls on opening night.
Bro, I don't understand. Well, I do understand because Peyton Manning is closer to the owners than he'll ever be to the other players. And then you get fans on social media who are like, Peyton's right. Preach, Peyton. No, bro, that dude, the team could have ended this whole thing by giving him what they paid him in July, right? They were never trying to pay him like he was JJ. They weren't going to pay him like he was CD. They ended up paying him like he was what? Like he was Brandon Ayuk. They gave him Brandon Ayuk
6
money.
months guaranteed money and then
So
wide receiver.
what was
which
the
sounds
holdup?
about right to me? Yeah.
What was the holdup? He's getting $1
I think
million
he
more
wanted
than
more than
Jalen
that.
Waddle.
I think he wanted
He
more.
wanted
than
more.
that.
He
Okay.
was the holdup.
So
Yeah.
if he wanted more,
He
and
had
they
to pay
weren't-
for those
and he
hair
ended
extensions,
up,
man.
But he ended up taking Brandon Ayuk money, right? So I don't understand why we couldn't get this done earlier. If that's what it was going to be, if I just don't imagine a world where he was saying, I want 36, and then finally said, okay, I'll just take 30.
Well, because of that big story that broke on Sunday.
Yeah,
where
Jay Glazer. He was like, hey, they literally were making the trade to Pittsburgh, and he came in and stopped it.
Yeah, so they were making the trade to Pittsburgh, and Ayuk came into Shanahan's office and said,
He's like Russell Wilson to Justin Fields. I don't want those
he's
guys
like,
throwing at me.
He's like, I'll take the contract, the 120 that's been on the table for 3 weeks.
Okay.
Shanahan is like, we're trading you to Pittsburgh right now. They were finalizing that deal. He was calling up to the front office. They weren't answering the phone. This was a great story. Shanahan dropped the phone and ran up the stairs to stop the trade.
Wow.
And Lynch and Shanahan talked to Ayuk for 2 hours. And Ayuk said in the press conference, he said, I made this more difficult than it needed to be.
Okay.
My question to start was, him just dropping the drops yesterday, does that come from like lack of practice and training camp? You were a wide receiver. That's where I'm actually just going with that.
I don't think it comes from, no.
Yeah.
No. Like,
Concentration,
it's just a
or
drop.
just a drop.
It's a drop.
Yeah.
Like, dude, he's done this his whole life. It's
Yeah.
not like he forgot how to play football because he missed a training camp.
Sure.
He just dropped a pass. And it was a great pass by Brock. That was a difficult catch by him.
Yeah.
But, I mean, you're getting paid as a top 5 receiver. You got to make the catch. He just dropped the ball.
Right.
He had 2 drops.
Right.
Just happens.
Let's move on from that to a couple other topics here. Dominic Pooney's a beast, our offensive line. Brock Purdy only got pressured twice. 0 sacks.
Yeah.
It looks like we got ourselves a Hall of Famer in
Lord.
Dominic Pooney in the 3rd round.
This same guy said the Niners are going to go 17-0.
No.
We got to get our predictions, by the way.
Listen,
Record 17-0,
all
Matt?
the people in the know, Brian Baldinger, Warren Sharp, the analytics guys, were doing a lot of video on Pooney. And we're like, this is the number 1 offensive lineman that's playing right now. Started every snap, 0 penalties. He looked great.
Yeah, he looked
Offensive
really good.
line was great. We were more physical than the Jets. People came in like the Jets. They're like this badass team.
They were a top 3 defense
They had
last
a really
year.
good defense last year.
We punched them in the mouth.
Yeah, but what I will say about the Jets, they don't have a pass rush though.
Well, Reddick is sitting.
They went to go get him specifically because they don't have a pass rush. They've got up the middle.
But they got Williams too.
They got
On
Quentin
the
Williams.
outside,
Yeah, but he's not a pass rusher. You know what I'm saying? He's a run stopping. He's a great defensive player, but they need that outside guy to get in there, and that's why he's still sitting out, because he knows they need that guy. They should be on the phone with him right now, paying him whatever he wants if they want to win. Because last night they could get no pressure, and he's the guy they brought in to specifically do that.
No, it's a good point. Yeah, I think it felt like the Jets were like, you seen the movie The Warriors?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Which one? The old one?
The old one.
Warriors
Come out to play. Cut to the clip. Warriors come out to play.
Warriors come out to play.
And it felt like the Niners were like the main characters, like this badass Jets team, and we were more physical than them. It was a lot of fun.
So you still haven't asked him how he's feeling about Purdy, other than burning his
No,
jersey?
I'm gonna wait for that. I'm gonna do one more thing first. Okay. We were talking about CMC. I think the blessing in disguise in all of this was the 49ers now have the luxury of slow playing CMC's return.
Yes.
And now when he does come back, they can do a little fire and ice with Mason and CMC, which is great.
Everyone wanted because they feel like they've been running CMC into the ground, right?
We got to come up with a nickname though for CMC and Mason. I mean, is it too dumb for me to go with Ebony and Ivory?
I am dark and you are light.
You are blind as a bat, and I have sight.
It's good, but the internet can't handle that.
It's okay.
They won't handle that. It'll turn into something terrible.
Got it.
But I love it though.
Okay.
A for effort.
Yeah.
Ponchez and
Like a buddy cop movie.
Yeah. What was it? It was Ponch and who was the
Ponch,
Chips?
Chips.
Who was it though?
Ponch and Nick. Do we know
no
who
one,
was
no
on
one
Chips?
remembers the white guy.
No, we don't.
Who's the white guy?
Yeah. Well, cut to a clip from Chips.
I think it was like Ponch and Larry.
It was Larry.
Was it Larry?
Larry. Yeah. You know, me and Paul on Saturday or Friday when we were watching the Tiafo Fritz match, we were going back and forth.
MC Ponchez.
You know,
MC Ponchez.
That's dope.
Like Hammer.
Well, there's a little like 48 hours. Yeah. Like a little Nolte, Eddie Murphy thing happening.
That's great.
Or can we call them Lethal Weapons? It's a little Mel Gibson, Danny Glover shit.
Could do that. Or Trading Places.
Trading places.
Yeah.
I always go to Trading
Hey, for no reason at all, cut to a Trading Places clip.
Looking good, Billy Ray.
Feeling good, Lewis.
I'll say this. Purdy was his efficient self. He figured out a way to dismantle the Jets' offense. He figured them out. He was only pressured twice. He took 0 sacks. We had 8 straight drives. He kind of maestroed that shit like Bradley Cooper in Maestro. Cut to that clip. He was his efficient self, and we won. What more do you want? That's all I'm saying. That's all. He was great.
I want nothing more.
Yeah, that's all you want.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do this 17 times?
Yeah,
Let's
17
do it.
times.
That's all we need.
That's all we need.
See, this is the thing. I don't understand. Where did I ever say that Purdy was not good?
I think we were talking about that but you were telling like, let's go out and get a Lamar Jackson and
Oh my God.
Patrick Mahomes.
We win a Super Bowl.
Well, Lamar Jackson actually has a worse playoff record than Brock Purdy. And
But
if you look
not
at
a worse record against us.
If you look at all the numbers, Purdy's more efficient than a lot of these guys.
Not against Lamar.
Yeah, but see,
This is all I want. This is all I want.
I mean, I do think like people that are knocking Purdy, I mean, it's really gotten to the point now where it's like those people that are knocking Purdy, the more he is efficient, really are like the version of like flat earthers.
What is knocking Purdy? What exactly? Because I think there's a lot of straw men being built here when people say Purdy, haters on Purdy, or people are knocking Purdy. If they're saying that Purdy is a number 12 or 13th in the league, that's not a knock. That's where he's at.
I think for me, it's more of like not knocking him. It's just not recognizing what the good he's doing.
Why can't we recognize the good that he's doing and call him the 12th best quarterback in a 32-team league?
If I remember the podcast correctly from before, what Reggie was saying was that he doesn't win games for you. He's not going to be a difference maker in a tight game at the very end. We haven't seen him do that. He hasn't made plays out of nowhere.
And Paul, don't fold here. Don't fold
I was
for our guests.
I was at the fucking Super Bowl. I'm still paying off that fucking ticket. And got fucking COVID, did all sorts of shit for this podcast, and they lost. So,
But you're defending. You always do the thing where you defend the guest.
of course I defend the guest.
And then when after we're done,
Familiarity breeds contempt,
Then
dude.
you
You haven't worked
afterwards you're
together
not.
for a
You
year.
say the opposite.
Are you turnstiling? You're not turnstiling. Paul wouldn't do that.
Turnstiling Paul.
Am I flip-flopping for politics?
You're the John Kerry. That's how old we are. He's the John Kerry flip-flopper of podcasts.
He's the Ross Perot.
I'm just trying to remember what I remember from when he was here before.
Run, and he did.
I just think he's not totally wrong about that. I'm not saying that the Niners can't win Super Bowl. I love Brock Purdy.
I just think it's easy to knock Brock, and
I would not give his jersey to a homeless person unless the homeless person had no other clothes. Because then I'd be doing it out of kindness, not because I hate Brock Purdy.
I want to say last night I was talking to Paul's lovely wife, and I was asking her, I was telling her math. She doesn't know anything about football, and I was telling her about, like, what would you call the LA teams? And I was like, you know what, the LAs are called the Rams. And she's like, really? I'm like, what do you think they should be called? She's like, the LA Homeless.
Oh.
No.
No, that was Seattle.
Seattle. She said Seattle should be called the Seattle Homeless. Yeah. Thought that wasn't bad.
She also thought Arizona should be called the Arizona Cactus.
Oh, what a great name, the Arizona Cactus.
Yeah. Just name them what they're kind of known for.
I mean, I'll say it for one time on the pod.
Yeah.
And I'll just say it because no one wants to say it. I think people just knock Purdy because of his looks. If Purdy looked like the quarterback you want him to look like, if he looked like Trey Lance, if he looked like Lamar Jackson, I think there's some undertones there.
What does Trey Lance look like that should be?
Looks like a quarterback.
What?
Looks like the prototype. He's got the thing, the whole look type of thing. I think Purdy being like the John Deere sort of guy, I think he gets knocked for that.
Peyton Manning's a goofy white guy.
Yeah, there's a little bit of that sprinkle. There's a little bit of that.
I don't think it's what he looks like. It's just what he is. I like the kid. He's great for what he does. He's better than Jimmy Garoppolo. That's all I want.
You're better than Jimmy Garoppolo.
All I want is somebody better than Jimmy Garoppolo. But now, what I want, if we're going to have to play against the Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes, if we're going to have to play against Lamar Jackson and the Ravens, if we're going to have to play against Josh Allen and the Bills, what I want is a quarterback that can beat those guys.
Yeah, we have that quarterback.
Have not seen it yet.
We got that quarterback.
Haven't seen it.
We have that quarterback.
When has he done it?
Listen.
He's beaten Goff. Okay. Beat Jordan Love. Okay. Beat the guys. That's what we need. Here's the thing. Here's an analogy that I always give when we talk about this stuff, and I talk to my friends. Ray Stoney. Okay? People like that. When they say, y'all been winning. You guys just greedy. You know what I'm saying? You got no respect. You guys, the guy who does is win for you. We ain't won nothing. What are we talking about here? Like when I used to go out and we go to the clubs and everything, right? And I would come home
Lola's.
And with my buddies, we go to Lola's or whatever. We come and me and my buddies would walk in and we'd be like, hey man, we're gonna get some numbers and this and that, right? At the end of the night, I wasn't trying to hear about you kissing on some girl. What's the story I want to hear about?
Oh, you want to hear about the yeah.
Hey, don't call me talking about, hey, I kissed her to death. Right. No, dog. I want to hear about the end of the day. Did you complete the mission?
Right, like it's Swingers.
Complete the mission.
Did you finish the job?
Like Vince Vaughn. He's like, we want to see the guy who, I don't know what he says.
The rabbit.
The rabbit.
Kill the fucking rabbit. Yeah. Cut to the clip.
You're looking at your claws and you're looking at your fangs and you're thinking to yourself, I don't know what to do, man. I don't know how to kill the bunny. With this, you don't know how to kill the bunny. Do you know what I mean? You're like a big bear, man.
Brock Purdy has done a lot of kissing. He kissed the hell out the girl, but he didn't finish the job.
Well, I have a whole theory about that. Now that he's married and having sexual relations, maybe he will finish the job.
I'll just say this for all our listeners who are listening right now who
Blue Balls Purdy, we can call him that.
We can call him Blue Balls Purdy.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's a clip on Blue Balls we can find.
Hi, sexually frustrated teenager. I'm Blue Bally. And if you and your girlfriend don't have sex soon, you're going to wind up with a serious case of blue balls.
But I'll just say that, Reggie, you're wrong. And I don't need to defend this take at all. Let's just be Israel and Palestine and do what they're not doing in Gaza and just shake and say, we won the game. We won.
We won the game.
We won.
Yeah.
We won.
We won the game.
We won the game.
Game one of the season.
We won the game.
I want the Super Bowl.
He was actually sitting there being all peaceful and shit, and you decided to provoke him with a drone across the table. So,
Did I
I feel like you did.
Is there? Yeah, wait, what was the we won the game? You sounded like, what was that from? We won the game.
No, it's Herm Edwards.
Herm Edwards. That's the Herm Edwards.
You played to win the game.
Yeah.
You play to win the game. Hello? You play to win the game.
Arguably, it's us or the Eagles.
That's what you're feeling after week one.
Eagles are scared. When they got Saquon, that made them basically their offense is is the 49ers
Yep.
with a better quarterback.
Well, that's a good thing. This segues.
This is great. So we need to talk next week.
We got to talk next week.
You got to live in the future. You got to live.
This segues into next week. We have, let's preview a little Vikings 49ers week 2. Let's just do a little prediction time here.
Right. Sam Darnold, who went to QBU at the
University of Southern California.
No, with the Niners for a year. He got a graduate degree in the
guy.
Shanahan offense. And now, by the way, it's going to be interesting because you kind of argue Darnold and Purdy are sort of maybe the same guy. Kind of white guys that don't win games for you by themselves. So they're going to go against each other.
I'll say this, Paul. You bring up a lot of good points there.
Thank you, Matt.
I watched Darnold when he was there. I think he got a bad beat. I've talked about this with the Jets and the Carolina. I think he's a lot better than his performance in his career has shown. Anyway, 10 a.m. game. We're going to Minnesota.
Yeah.
Okay. The game features the 2 highest graded quarterbacks from week 1.
Okay.
Purdy and Darnold. Darnold, for whatever you want to think, started the game 14 for 14, ended up like 24 for 27, 2 touchdown passes, very efficient. Yeah. Paul said this is the type of game, and my buddy Chris Merrill, who's real neg, was like, this is the type of game that we go to Minnesota and fucking lose. Like, we're getting that early.
Remember the game?
Purdy
where
we fall asleep.
Had the interception-itis, and he threw all his fucking picks last time they were in Minnesota.
Yeah, I remember that.
I totally agree that they're going to lose this game.
There is no world, planet on Earth where we're going in there and losing to Sam Darnold.
I think it's more about the road.
I don't care if it's the road, the street, the highway, the overpass. Yeah. We are not losing to Sam Darnold. Okay. You're going to hear it all week. Sure. Everybody.
The hype, you got to hype the fight. You got to hype
the
fight.
We've been saying it.
Yeah.
He's terrible, bro.
Yeah, he's not terrible.
I just think everybody's doing a victory lap this one game.
Terrible.
I've never heard people more positive about 49ers.
We are going to annihilate the Vikings. It's going to be bad.
You know what I think where we do have a chance? The Vikings offensive line is actually crap.
Yes.
Yeah, so we're going to pressure Darnold. But it's like, you know how we went to Minnesota last year and got run out the gym?
Well, we went to Minnesota last year and we were missing people, right?
We actually traditionally go to Minnesota. I think our record in Minnesota, cut to the clip from Fargo.
Yeah, it looks pretty bad. Oh, yeah.
I don't know. I just said that.
Because you don't know the stats. You didn't research this, but you think it's not good. And it might not be good.
But I know. I can pull that.
We've turned into the Vikings. The Vikings are known for losing Super Bowl after Super Bowl.
We're not good in Minnesota, traditionally.
Well, this week, we are going to be very good in Minnesota.
Short week. Okay.
Bank on it.
Bank on it.
Sam Darnold will look like Sam Darnold this week.
Do we want to go prediction time right now?
I think we should.
Let's do it. Okay, you want to go first?
I think we want our guest to go first. He just made a prediction.
So what are we predicting?
We go scores. We'll clip them. We'll put them up.
Scores?
Reggie, give me a score. Sunday, Niners-Vikings.
28-10.
Who's the star of the game for the Niners?
CMC or Jordan Mason.
You're just going to go with that? Ebony and Ivory?
Yep.
Or what we
Trading places.
Trading places. 48 hours. Ponch and Larry?
Reggie Hammond.
Reggie Hammond. Yeah. I just don't see a world where the Vikings are winning. They played against the Giants or the Panthers. One of those teams is going winless.
Right.
And thank God they play each other, so one of them has to lose a game. Okay. They are going to be, one of those guys is going to be winless. The Vikings got a chance to play against a possible winless team.
28-13?
I say 28-10.
28-10. Paul, talk to me. What happens?
Well, I got to do the neg thing, obviously, but I kind of believe it. I just think that the Niners, there was a lot of emotion in this game. The Pearsall thing, Frank Gore got put into the Hall of Fame,
sure.
the team Hall of Fame. I think there was a lot of them, and I just think they're doing a victory lap after this first game. That suddenly they got this amazing defense. They fixed all their fucking problems. And Nick Sorensen's the second coming of D'Amico Ryan and all this stuff. And they play shitty on the road. They play shitty at 10 a.m. West Coast games. I think they're losing this one. I think that Jake Moody had an amazing game yesterday, but he's still got to have something in the back of his head about that missed fucking point after touchdown in the Super Bowl. It cost him the fucking game. He's going to go in there. The last time he was in a dome was in Vegas when he missed that. They're going to lose 28-27. Niners lose 28-27.
Can I amend something real quick?
Yeah, go
my
for
score. I'm going to make it 34. No. Yeah, make it 34-10.
I did not convince Reggie at all.
He should have 2 field goals in this game, too.
Can I just say something right now? Reggie, and I've known Paul longer than you, obviously. What you just witnessed here was he cleared out at the top. Whether you agree with him or not, that was a classic, everyone go 4 corners, Paul at the top of the key, Jimmy Chitwood, cut to the clip from Hoosiers. He just nailed it, nailed the neg take. Because when Paul goes neg, this is also dumb superstition shit. We win. Yeah. Someone on the pod has to go with the loss.
So he's doing it for the good of the Niners.
For the good of the Niners.
Okay. Maybe I had a lot of stuff that backed it up.
You know what? I'm going to say something here on the pod that I can't believe I'm going to say. I'm really feeling the Reggie take right here. See, I think we're going to go on the road.
Look at you guys coming together.
Come together.
Oh, there's that too.
Right now.
Well, every night we're together in perfect harmony. Look at you guys.
Yeah. We're like Tony Punch.
Tony Punch.
Yeah. No, but I think, Reggie, to your point, I think that, what do they call that game where you got to look out for?
Trap game.
I think we can see the trap game coming a mile out now. And I agree with Paul. I think we're galvanized. I think we're
playing the Rams next week. This could be a trap game. Then they got the division game.
But I think
SoFi.
I go back to my quote of Brock's for a couple pods ago where he said, I want to annihilate teams. I want to come in this year and fucking annihilate teams. I think they're galvanized. I think they actually got a weird chip on their shoulder. Like,
can we do an AI? Can we do an AI thing where they do where he basically just replaces Reggie Watkins with every time he says teams, I want to annihilate Reggie Watkins. We're gonna get a personal vendetta between Brock Purdy and Reggie.
Bring it.
Okay. I think that Brock wants to annihilate teams. I think we're gonna go in there. I think it's gonna be the Jordan Mason. I think Ayuk's gonna have a game. He's gonna show out. We're on the turf. We got a lot of speedsters. We're very speedy on the turf.
McCaffrey ain't playing.
I just think we're coming together. And I agree with you. I think this could be the fucking kick in the balls. Cut to that clip.
My balls.
Would you say 34-13?
I'm saying 34-10.
I'm gonna go 31-17. 31-17. 49ers.
4 touchdowns, a field goal.
Yeah.
2 touchdowns, a field goal for the Vikings.
Yeah.
Sam Darnold's, he's just not good.
Do we have anything else that you would like to ask our guests?
We're getting towards the end of our interview, which is always great. You're welcome anytime. Thank you for coming back. You have anything to promote, Reggie? We want to talk about you for a second.
I am in the new Call of Duty. So that comes out in October.
Very cool.
So go ahead and get that and make sure you play as Sergeant Lawrence Sims and be on your socials and talk about Lawrence Sims, post Lawrence Sims, because as long as you post him, they don't kill me and I get to keep coming back for more Black Ops. So
Lawrence Sims.
Sergeant Lawrence Sims. Make sure you get that.
Hold on. We have to do the segment brought to you by PetcoSupplyCo.com. The segment, you have to ask him the question.
I've been asking people who would play you in the movie, but clearly you play yourself in the movie. So I'm going to ask you a slightly separate question. What athlete do you play in the movie about that athlete?
What biopic? Yeah, do you want to play the lead in?
If they make the Terrell Owens movie.
Terrell Owens?
Terrell, Dwayne Wade. I always get those two when people say, you look kind of like Terrell Owens or Dwayne Wade. Yeah, I'll play them.
I think the Terrell Owens movie would be more interesting.
It would be an interesting
interesting movie. Yeah.
Not to be confused with the John Madden movie that's coming out.
You know what? Yeah, exactly. We'll
Nick
talk
Cage,
about
right?
later.
Nick Cage.
I can just see. We'll shoot that scene where you're doing sit-ups in your driveway, trying to get that new contract. Terrell Owens,
run into the star.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Ray Stoney said he would play Dak Prescott.
Oh, shout out to Stoney. He paid me because of Dak Prescott. Stoney has so much hate. I make so much money off of Stoney because of his haterism, right?
Yeah.
Stoney famously hates LeBron so much.
Yeah.
He bet against Team USA this year in the Olympics.
Yeah.
He said that we would lose a game to Serbia, of all people.
Who would ever say something like that?
Oh, Lord. Because of LeBron. He bet me $100 that Team USA would not go undefeated, and I got my $100.
Reggie, can I just say one thing?
Yeah.
Is that this makes me respect Ray more, that take. I love that take, Ray. And also, you're the only person that hasn't paid me in the league fantasy dues, so you got to pay as well.
Oh, see?
Yeah, there we go.
But I love it, man. Never change. Keep the hate going and keep my account in the green. I appreciate it. It's fantastic. He's a great friend.
Reggie, great to have you on the show again.
Always a good time.
Yeah.
You guys are great.
Always great.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Let's blow this thing up, man. Who just got paid? The Kelsey brothers?
Yeah.
Damn it. Paul and Matt need $100 million to get this thing cracking. Let's go.
Well, I'm married, so Matt's the one who's got to get a celebrity to help. Let's start dating a celebrity, Matt, so that we can get that $100 million. Because there's no way they're getting that without Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
Right?
I don't know. Is there somebody that you could date, Matt?
Yeah, there's plenty.
Let's go on. Look at this. Look at this.
Anyone wants to set up Matt with a celebrity that helps the podcast, write it in the notes or fucking hashtag some fucking thing.
Hook it up. 100 mil, and I want 10%. That's all.
Absolutely.
I want 10%.
Thanks, Reggie.
Thank you. Hey, I'm out. Peace.
Okay, Reggie Watkins, unhinged or just about right?
I mean, just Reggie now, man. That's just Reggie.
Reggie Hammond. Cut to a 48 hours clip.
If we go in there and get a phone number or GANs or dead Indian, anything that helps us out, turn your back for half hour and let me go get some pussy.
What for? Any man talks about women like you, can't get it up anyhow.
That was great. I love Reggie.
That was great. Great way to start the football season.
Way to play Switzerland. Way to kind of Hansi Mubarak. Was that a wrong term there? Way to
Hansi Mubarak. Maybe not exactly.
Jimmy Cartered it? You kind of Jimmy Cartered?
It's Egypt. They kind of, it was really more like Menachem Begin and Anwar Sadat, maybe.
Like two warring factions, and you kind of brought the peace.
That's how I was in my family, Matt. You know, a lot of chaos, and, I try to bring everybody together.
Yeah, I like it. Do you think we have Reggie back on?
I mean, it all depends on the numbers, man. This is like, we're living in a full democratic system here. If Reggie brings the numbers, he gets asked back. If he doesn't, hey, we keep moving.
I love it. It's a cutthroat. It's a what do you call it? A sum loss, a win sum game. What is it?
Zero sum loss.
Zero sum loss.
Zero sum gain.
Yeah. Right. All right. Hey,
I'm a nagger. I went with zero sum loss.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
There you go. Hey, welcome back to the BLA podcast. Thanks for listening. This podcast is brought to you by Pet Pro Supply Co. Pet Pro Supply Co. To get all your pet needs. You need to get things for your dogs, cats, squirrels, rats, possums, turtles, snakes, llamas, giraffes, Mike Tyson tigers in your backyard. Go to Pet Pro Supply Co. They'll get you anything you need, and they're a great sponsor of the show. Paul, let's get into a couple things before we get to the best things we saw.
Right, we're going to keep moving. We're
about
to do this thing. Just everybody, we're going weekly during the football season, so we're going to try to make these a little bit more bite-sized.
We'll try. We're trying. Let us know what we're trying. Nick Conrad's like, get the fuck out of here. Yeah. We're big tennis guys. Everyone who listen loyally, and we've been written into the tennis.
By the way, we were ahead of the curve. Tennis is fucking popular.
Yeah.
75,000 people a day at the Open. It was a 3-week event this year.
U.S. Open.
It's blowing up TikTok.
Yep.
Pictures of Tommy Paul with his shirt off and other things. Yeah, we were ahead.
Yeah, your boy was there.
Sinner getting accidentally juiced up by his Russian girlfriend. That's my theory, by the way.
Yeah.
Kolinskaya, she's pretty attractive.
Yeah.
What are you going to say, Matt? You were there.
Yes, I was there, Paul. Thanks for remembering.
What can you tell us from the front lines?
Front lines, it's like going to Lollapalooza, but instead of musicians, it's tennis. There are a ton of people there and a lot of talent.
You mean like good tennis players, like that kind of talent?
No, I'm not talking about that type of talent.
Oh, you're talking, okay.
I was there with BLA therapist Nick Moyares and BLA legal analyst Chris Merrill, and there was a lot of talent. It was the week before Fashion Week. Let's just put it that way. Okay? And a lot of finance bros, a lot of sort of models or arm candy, a lot of Daryl Hannahs from like Wall Street.
What's her name, Matt?
Darian.
I gave you Darian. I gave you your manhood, Matt.
Yes,
that's amazing. I'm sorry I missed this. I don't know where I was. I guess I was in Cape Cod.
Yeah, no, but
wife.
I got a new crush actually.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, Ukrainian tennis player named Marta Kostyuk.
Okay, yeah.
You know her?
I do.
I watch her play doubles, Nick, and I was as close to her as I am to both of you. And she was wearing a highlighter dress that had sort of a V cut.
A highlighter, meaning it was like yellow?
It was like a yellow-green.
I think I saw that,
I fell in love with this woman.
There are people in the tennis world, Matt, who consider that cheating because it's basically the same color as the ball.
Oh, you're right. Ukrainian. Look at her trying to play reindeer games.
Good for her. I'm all
Look at her
Ukraine.
Yeah. Hey, Nick, cut to that clip from Reindeer Games.
Because I do not deserve to be in some shitbag motel.
Yeah, it was impressive. Hey, I said on the BLA pod 2 weeks ago that I thought Tiafoe was going to get to the Final Four. He did get to the Final Four.
Did you pick him for that because he has the best taco meat on the tour?
Yeah, absolutely. Great callback, Paul. Taco meat, Paul. Taco meat Tiafo.
I love Tiafo. I was bummed that he couldn't. He's got to get in a little better shape. He got worn down by the end there. I think he's almost too emotional.
Hey, really quickly, I wanted to mention this to you. I was at the Tommy Paul match, second round match when he played Jack Purcell. Is that his name?
Yeah.
And
Jack Purcell. That's a shoe.
Purcell from Australia.
Okay, I don't know.
Okay, he was playing Purcell.
Is it Jack Draper?
No. He was playing this guy.
Madman Draper.
Max Purcell.
That's correct.
Max Purcell from Australia. Tommy Paul won 14 straight points. And in the third set, down like 2-0, Purcell just walked off the court, Richie Tenenbaum style. Cut to the clip.
There's obviously something wrong with him. He's taken off his shoes and one of his socks. And actually, I think he's crying.
And everyone was just like booing him. There was no injury. He was just like, he's got me beat and just left.
Wow.
I mean, have you ever seen that? I mean, that's kind of not cool, right?
No, you got to finish, man. I think Federer. I think Federer never retired from a match.
Yeah.
Didn't matter if he was hurt.
Yeah.
Some stat like
that. Yeah. Purcell retired, bitched out.
We got two young guns. I don't know how I feel about the steroid thing. Everyone's like, oh, it's not a big deal. But then Sinner came out and kicked everybody's ass. He's the new Joker. That's my take on it. Joker was clinical. And there was kind of rumors that maybe he was doing a little doping along the way too. So I think he's the new Joker, and Alcaraz is the new Nadal/Fed.
I think, Paul, you're right about Sinner. I was very impressed with him. His ground strokes are great. But what did I call him when you texted me? What did I call Sinner?
You called him a fake Italian.
I called him a fake Italian.
Yeah.
A boring fake Italian, his game.
Because he's northern.
He's northern, not like real north. Like as north as you could go. Like here's the border. Like you're the border.
Yeah, he's basically German.
Like he was born like I'm where Italy and you're, so basically.
Right.
Yeah.
He's not swarthy like you, Matt.
Yeah. Where should we go next here, Paul? Really quickly, I have a couple things. I was really happy. I know this happened a couple weeks ago, but I was really happy that my USC Trojans, who I think are for real, shout out to my alma mater, they beat your brothers.
Oh my God.
LSU Tigers.
Luckily, Ernie and Julie Rule were on a bike trip in Spain, or he may not have survived it. I think it happened while he was asleep.
They're big LSU fans.
They're big LSU fans.
And all I got to say is, Ernie, your team sucks this year, and I love you. Wow. But go Trojans.
And cross him off as a sponsor for the podcast, Matt. Thanks.
Oh, you know what? Sorry. Anywho. Any more random thoughts you want to hit before we get into best things?
I think we got to keep moving, man.
Okay. Best things we saw. There's a lot of little Hollywood stuff in here.
I would notice we did not talk about the San Francisco Giants.
Yeah, notice that.
That fucking tire fire. We'll probably do a season end recap, but there's not a whole lot to talk about.
Yeah. There's got to be like sort of a countdown to explosion clip right now that we could cut to. We're talking about the San Francisco Giants.
You're all clear, kid. Now let's blow this thing and go home.
Paul, what do you want to talk about here? Best things we saw. Have you seen anything? You want to talk about anything?
I saw a few things. So I was on the East Coast for a week with my lovely wife Kristen. We're talking about having her as a guest on the pod sometime during the football season, and play games like, can you name 3 professional football players? I think the odds of that are low.
Yeah.
But anyway, we had a great time in Cape Cod, great time visiting her lovely family. And weirdly, while we were having such a great time, we decided just to have, one too many glasses of wine and watch some horror movies.
Okay.
So we watched Long Legs. Yep. Which was totally indecipherable, made 0 sense. They didn't show Nicolas Cage for like half the movie. It's made $100 million globally. Yeah. It was like it was written by, you ever seen a thing like where they have like monkeys on a typewriter?
Yeah.
It felt like it was written by monkeys on a typewriter. But there'll be a sequel because it's done well.
Yep.
And he's a good character.
Yeah.
The Long Legs thing. So if you like horror movies, watch the second half. It kind of started to get decent in the second half. And then weirdly, we watched The Shining. When was the last time you watched The Shining?
I see The Shining like once a year, Paul. I mean, I love that film. Great
I want to know what
score.
happened to the kid in The Shining and who he, like what porn he ended up doing, or if he's killed himself, because that's a tough role as a kid.
You know what, Paul? And this is a recommendation. You brought something up great. Have you seen the sequel they made to The Shining with Ewan McGregor?
No.
That came out about 10 years ago. It's actually fucking excellent.
For TV, right?
Yeah, Something Sleeps. No. It was in the theater.
Okay.
Yeah, check that out. The sequel to The Shining is great.
Go check it out. I hadn't seen it since I was a kid. It's scary as fuck. It's Stanley Kubrick at his kind of most commercial, and Nicholson at his just great movie star craziness. I was glad to see it again.
Great Rex. The Shining, and maybe not see Long Legs.
Maybe not see Long Legs.
I don't know how they're
I'm halfway through The Gentleman at the moment. I'll come back with my review on that next time. I know you saw it before, man.
Yeah, I talked about it on the spot. I recommended it.
No,
6 months ago.
I mostly get the recommendations from you.
Yeah, and I also talked about Long Legs, but I didn't talk about The Shining because we weren't doing the pod in 1978. Our dads, when our dads were just talking in that version of a podcast in '78, talked about The Shining.
Okay, we don't want to go long here. I just realized I had a pet peeve, but do your thing, and then I'll do a quick pet peeve, and then we'll get out of here.
Okay, best things I saw. First thing, the best things I saw was the Notre Dame fans crying when Northern Illinois beat them this weekend. Oh, it was
As an
beautiful.
SC fan, I'm sure you love that.
You know, not even an SC fan. I just like seeing fans from either professional sports teams or colleges that think, you know, being successful is their birthright, losing to underdogs. I'm an underdog, okay?
I was going to say, it sounds like you made this personal.
I wasn't born on second base or third, okay? But that's why I love underdog.
Hell, it took you until you got out of college to get on third base, probably, right?
Exactly.
Wait, no, that's not true.
Listen,
I was going to ask Reggie about Eskimo Brothers stuff. We keep forgetting to ask that.
Yeah, that's going to be a new segment brought to you by
segment.
Hi-yo. Listen, I saw Blink Twice, the Zoe Kravitz directed film with Channing Tatum.
You got a lot of time in your hands.
I liked it. It was great. It was really great. Really interesting. It was a great watch, super entertaining. You know what? Like we complain about films like Longlegs, this summer I saw a batch of films and like there's no 3-act structure.
Why is it called Blink Twice?
You got to see it. I don't want to give it up. But Paul, to your point as a writer, where's the basic 3-act structure arc to things? I thought Blink Twice was a wonderful directorial debut.
Wow. Okay.
And great acting, great cast. It's a lot of fun. And there's a twist in it that you don't see coming. I saw Alien Romulus. Fuck, it's great. If you're a big fan of the Alien canons of films, Alien Romulus, it's still in the theaters. It's actually a great time. Super scary. Paul, I think someone like you would actually enjoy Alien Romulus.
I've heard good things about it.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And for our friends that just surfing Netflix, if you want to think about something watching tonight just for fun, watch The Union. It's a new action film out with Halle Berry and Mark Wahlberg. You want 90 minutes of fun with Halle Berry running around Europe, kicking some ass? The pitch is there. That was absolutely great. So I loved Blink Twice, The Union, Alien Romulus, Ben, Chicago Ben. Those are the three things.
Avoid the perfect couple, you told me.
You know, I bowed out after the first episode.
Yeah.
So.
You got to tell people how not to waste their time too, Matt. They should need to be spending more time on the Beat LA podcast and less time watching shitty television.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
Paul, where shall we segue next?
So real quick, because we got to get out of here. I keep saying that. So my pet peeve, I just flew back and forth to the East Coast. What the fuck happened to screens on the back of fucking seats so I can watch movies? Everything. I flew back from Newark over Memorial Day weekend on a 777, no fucking screens. I know I'm supposed to be flying in business class. That's my reputation here, but I do not always fly in business class, and there are no fucking screens anymore. I don't want to watch it on my iPad or my fucking phone.
What airline were you on?
United.
Interesting, because United, that's how Alaska is. Alaska's got no screens.
You know what they do?
United usually does.
So I was in first class on the way out there.
Yeah.
And they didn't have any screens in first class. And I asked the flight attendant, and she said that she heard that they got rid of them because they were too heavy and that the screens added extra weight and they were using too much fuel to carry around all these fucking screens. Anyway, America's going to hell in a handbasket, man.
Can I ask you this? First world problems. Did the United planes have a little USB to like charge your phone at least?
No. Old plugs, old plug kind of thing.
Got it. I love it. Let's go to some shout outs right now. I have no pet peeves.
Okay. You're so zen.
I don't really have any right now, Paul, but I do want to ask you one thing.
Okay.
We had a clip last week of your immaculate take, and you talked about Ryan Osmankowski.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Henry Rule. And we shouted them out on the podcast, and I put them in that reel on Instajammers.
I hope it doesn't impact Henry's political
How did they
career.
feel? Were they happy about the shout out in the clip?
Henry tried to distance himself from it. That he said nothing about the return of buxom movie stars.
Yeah.
And that if his girlfriend Julia listens to the pod, that somehow I misrepresented him.
Okay. And then how about Ryan? Was Ryan okay with it?
I haven't asked Ryan about it.
You haven't asked Ryan about it?
Yeah. These are excellent questions. All right. My shout out, by the way, we were on the East Coast. Friend of the pod, great friend of the Rule of Freya family. Kristen's cousin, Paige Selby, just got engaged.
Okay. Congratulations,
to Sam
Paige.
Livingston. We were there for it. Thank you, Paige, for all the support.
Yep.
And wish you guys nothing but happiness. So that's my shout out for the week.
Got it.
It might get us a deal at Google.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
Googs. What's that guy's name? Sven?
Who?
Sven.
Who's Sven?
Who's the guy that runs Google? Sergey Brin.
You know who his ex-wife is?
Who?
She was RFK Jr.'s running mate.
Oh, she's cute. Can I say that?
Yeah, I think she's got a little bit of you. And she got a little fusion?
She got a fusion.
Yeah.
Yeah. You think I could date a woman like that?
I mean, sure, she's available, and she got all Sergey Brin's money. She's divorced from him. That's what you should be doing.
Was what?
Calling up like ex-wives of rich guys. Like when Mackenzie Bezos, she went
Yeah.
to Princeton with me. When she got divorced from Jeff Bezos, being like the most, I was like, I should call her. My friends were like, call her. I was single at the time.
Yeah.
I don't know why I didn't do that.
But what are they going to do with the guy who's, got a little bungalow in like Miracle Mile? Like,
That's not the point, Matt. They get you because you're kind of a boy toy. They get you and they show you around. They put you in a nice outfit. You're like a kept man.
I give good boy toy.
Yeah, you're like the kept man. But it's great because you fly around, you have a great time.
And on that note, I love you, Paul. I love you. Sometimes I wonder why we're friends, and then you bring something like that, and it makes it all right.
All right, brother.
All right, Paul, great to see you.
Great to see you.
Great to see you. I hope to get to see you again soon. We're going to be doing this pod remote for the next 3 weeks, but we're bringing it to you every week during the NFL season. I hope you enjoyed this. And until next week, Paul.
Beat LA and go Niners.
Go Niners.